This is what happens to your body when you don't eat for 72 hours. At the beginning of this experiment, your stomach will start to make noises. This is because when you don't eat, the stomach starts to get empty and it makes sounds because of the movement of air inside of it. It might also feel like you're going to throw up, but this feeling will go away if you don't give in and eat. If you can push through day 1, you'll find that by the second day, you won't feel hungry at all. The reason why is because of a hormone called leptin. Leptin is a hormone that tells you that you're full and satisfied, and it increases when you haven't eaten in a while. When you fast, your body breaks down fat cells into molecules called ketones. Ketones are used as an alternative fuel source for the brain. When there is no glucose available, ketones are produced in the liver from the breakdown of fatty acids, and they can be used by the brain, heart, muscles, and other tissues for energy. This process is called ketosis, and it typically occurs when the body has used up its stores of glycogen, which is a form of stored carbohydrates. Ketosis can also be induced by a low-carbohydrate diet or a prolonged fast. During ketosis, the body becomes more efficient at using fat for energy and produces less insulin, which can lead to weight loss and improved blood sugar control. However, ketosis can also cause some negative effects, such as fatigue, headache, nausea, and constipation. These symptoms are usually mild and temporary, and most people are able to adapt to a ketogenic diet within a few weeks. When you break down fat for energy, there's a byproduct called alkalosis that gets released into the bloodstream. Alkalosis is a condition where the blood becomes too alkaline. The normal pH of blood is between 7.35 and 7.45. When the pH goes above 7.45, it becomes too alkaline and problems can start to occur. Alkalosis can cause symptoms such as headaches, confusion, muscle twitching, and even seizures. But don't worry, this won't happen to you. Even though your blood becomes too alkaline, your body does a great job of keeping the pH at a good level so you won't die from it. Another cool thing that happens to your body during a fast is that the amount of bad bacteria in your gut decreases. In fact, after 3 days of not eating, there is a complete turnover of bacteria in your digestive system. This means that all the bad bacteria that could potentially make you sick is replaced with good bacteria that helps with digestion. On the 3rd day of fasting, you may find it much easier to go to the bathroom. If you didn't know, the body gets rid of waste through the digestive system. When food is not going into the body, there is nothing to be pushed through the intestines and out of the rectum. Because of this, many people experience a lack of bowel movements when they fast. But once the body starts breaking down fat and producing ketones, things start moving again. Also, the good bacteria in the intestines produce short-chain fatty acids. These help to stimulate the muscles in the intestines and promote regular bowel movements. So, even though you may not poop for the first 2 days, on the 3rd day, things should start to move and you will relieve yourself. If you can fast for 3 days, then something really cool happens. You become a super fat burner. As I mentioned before, when you fast, the body breaks down fat for energy. This is called lipolysis. Lipolysis is the process by which the body breaks down stored fat into glycerol and free fatty acids that can be used as energy. This process is stimulated by hormones such as glucagon and adrenaline, and it occurs in the liver and adipose tissue. When the body is at rest, most of the energy is produced by the mitochondria in the cells, which use oxygen to break down glucose or fatty acids to produce ATP. However, during intense exercise or when the body is in a fasted state, the demand for energy can exceed the availability of glucose. In these situations, the body can tap into its stores of body fat and break it down through lipolysis to provide an alternative fuel source for energy production. Lipolysis is also stimulated by certain hormones, such as glucagon, which is released by the pancreas in response to low blood sugar levels, and adrenaline, which is released by the adrenal glands in response to stress. During lipolysis, the triglycerides in adipose tissue are broken down into glycerol and 3 free fatty acids. The glycerol can be used by the liver to produce glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. The free fatty acids are released into the bloodstream and transported to the muscles and other tissues, where they can be oxidized to produce energy. After about 72 hours, your body will be fully adapted to this new way of getting energy. Because of this, you can now burn fat at a much faster rate. It's estimated that you can burn anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds of fat every single day. This would mean that after 72 hours, you would lose almost a kilo of fat. Now, even though you might not actually lose that much fat in 72 hours, your body is definitely capable of burning fat a lot faster than when you normally eat. On day 3, the benefits of fasting don't stop there. It's been found that if you don't eat for 3 days, you will actually grow more muscle. Now, you might be thinking, how can you possibly build muscle without eating protein? Well, here's how. When you fast, the body releases something called growth hormone. Growth hormone helps to break down fat and release amino acids into the bloodstream. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein. This means that even though you aren't eating protein, the body will be able to pull amino acids from existing proteins and use them to build new proteins. This is why it's been found that people who fast actually have lower levels of insulin and higher levels of growth hormone. Both of these hormones have anabolic effects on the body, which means that they promote the growth and development of tissues. Fasting can also help to reduce inflammation in the body, which can further support muscle growth by minimizing damage to muscle cells during exercise. By minimizing the damage, the body can allocate more resources towards repairing and growing new muscle tissue rather than fighting inflammation. Even though you can go on living without food for a long time, the body will start to get weaker. After about 72 hours, your reflexes will begin to slow down. This is because your central nervous system, which is made up of the brain and spinal cord, begins to shut down. When you don't eat, your body doesn't get the energy it needs to function properly. As a result, the brain and spinal cord start to close down non-essential functions. This is a survival mechanism that kicks in when the body is not getting enough energy. By slowing down reflexes, the body is able to conserve energy and focus on more essential functions such as keeping the heart beating and lungs working. Another thing that will start to happen is that you'll find it hard to focus. This is due to the fact that your brain will not be getting enough glucose. The brain is a very energy-hungry organ, and it relies on glucose as its primary fuel source. When the body is not getting enough glucose from food, it will start to break down muscle tissue to produce glucose through a process called gluconeogenesis. This process occurs in the liver, and it involves breaking down the amino acids from muscle tissue into glucose. As a result, the brain will receive less glucose, and this can lead to difficulty concentrating and other cognitive impairments. If you can push through day 4, you'll find that your body temperature starts to drop. When the body is not getting enough energy from food, it will start to slow down its metabolic rate in order to conserve energy. This means that the body will start to produce less heat and the body temperature will drop. This is why it's important to stay warm when fasting for long periods of time. Hypothermia can be dangerous and even fatal if the body temperature drops below 95 degrees Fahrenheit or 35 degrees Celsius. At the end of day 4, you'll probably want to just give in and eat because your body will be craving nutrients. But if you push through, something really cool will happen. After about 4 days of not eating, the immune system will be boosted. When the body is deprived of food, it will start to produce more white blood cells. White blood cells are the cells that fight infection and disease in the body. This means that fasting can help to strengthen the immune system and make you less likely to get sick. There's even some research that shows that fasting can help to prevent cancer. Cancer is a disease characterized by the uncontrolled growth and spread of abnormal cells. Fasting has been shown to inhibit the growth of cancer cells and promote apoptosis, which is the death of cells. The next thing that will happen to your body is that it will start to repair itself. When the body is not busy digesting food, it will start to focus on repairing itself. This means that fasting can help to speed up the healing process and reduce inflammation in the body. For example, one study found that fasting helped to improve symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis. By day 5, your hair will start falling out. This is because the body is not getting enough nutrients from food. Hair is made up of a protein called keratin. When the body is not getting enough protein, it will start to break down muscle and other tissues in order to get the protein it needs. This means that hair loss is a side effect of long-term fasting. However, even though all these things are happening to your body, you will not die from fasting for 5 days. That's because your body has a survival mechanism that kicks in when you don't eat. This mechanism is called autophagy. Autophagy is a process where the body breaks down and recycles old or damaged cell components. This allows the body to survive during times of nutrient deprivation, such as when you're fasting. Autophagy is also important for removing damaged proteins and other cellular debris that can accumulate in cells over time. By breaking down and recycling these components, the body is able to reuse the building blocks for new cells and maintain overall health and well-being. If you liked this video, subscribe to find out about what happens to your body when you do not sleep for days, or what happens to your body when you don't have sex for days. Thanks for watching.